Book of Matthew 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Shalom. Call Halayim La Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakah Quadash, as well as a double honors upon to the apostles and elders of GMS Great Millstone, whom I've learned this truth under. I'm the brother Allah Yahweh. This video being titled 2026, Declaration of World War III, ? Okay, and it's been a minute since I've done a video speaking on wars in World War III in particular. That's one of the key main prophecies of the end of this current evil temporal age being run by the wicked himself, Esau, Edom, as well as the rest of these heathen nations. World War III. That's how this man's gonna go out, as you see on the screen. Okay, so get straight to it. I first saw the brother, I believe it's Kapatza of the GMS Chicago Akim. He posted this video earlier today, which I shared, titled "The Dark Winter is Coming, 2026 - More War and Digitalization." Okay, and he went in on apparently the United States did a strike over in Western Africa, over in Nigeria. Okay, and I reposted it, highlighting Micah, the 2nd chapter. Let's get that, because that's Esau's. That's how he moves. His gift, going back to the book of Genesis, would be his sword, as well as the fatness of the earth. He done conquered all these nations and took all the land and resources. That's how the so-called WHITE man moves. And we're seeing this. That's how this man gonna go out. Okay, he is believing in Obadiah as well as Jeremiah, despised among men. Okay, the Lord is making him small amongst the heathen. He's greatly despised because he's always stealing. He's the bully. He and the United States are the hammer of the earth. Micah 2, verse 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. And that's how this man is. He's everywhere he not supposed to be, okay? Conquering all these lands and nations. So continuing, I see the story on this the brother put up on him sending strikes over there in Nigeria. Then I get this notification on Reddit. Breaking news. Iran's president says country in midst of total war with U.S., Israel, and Europe. And we know the scriptures speak on the least of the flock shall draw them out. That's talking about Israel dragging the United States over into this third woe. Then you got the tension with the United States and Venezuela. Tensions brewing up over there. You got Russia and Ukraine. I just got speaking of Reddit notifications, notification last night on apparently Russia sending a barrage of missiles over to Ukraine's capital city. Yeah. Kyiv, I believe how you pronounce it, and it shows you right here on the videos. Russia strikes Kyiv ahead of U.S.-Ukraine peace talks, and the scriptures speak on no peace unto the wicked, as well as when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. That's what we're seeing. And then as well, Israel and Iran. Iran president says U.S., Israel, Europe waging full-fledged war on country. And then you got China in the cut as well, the land of Moab. The war you don't see. Congress says Russia, China are targeting Europe. Is China quietly preparing cargo ships to transform into military vessels? So you see all these countries getting geared up in that mind state of a wartime economy. China preparing to win a war on Taiwan by 2027. New Pentagon report warns. So let's get this. The book of Revelation, and Lord willing this be edifying, concise, and to the point. Revelation 11 verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And going back to this thumbnail of 2026, it's looking like all the puzzle pieces are adding up for a heightened intensity of this third woe. real shit crack off in 2026, Lord willing, because we know through much tribulation it'll take for us to get to the kingdom of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. So all these evils got to come to pass for then the world to be in a state of peace. But we're not in a time of peace. We're in a time of war. And 2026 is looking like straight war on all sides. And we remember going back to 2020, 2020 started off crazy too. The third day in, the United States took out Iranian military general Soleimani, January 3rd. Then you had the Kobe Bryant helicopter crash, January 26th, back in 2020. And then by March, they declared that BSS CV91 a global P to the ANDEMIC. Okay, so a lot cracked off early in the year of 2020. Even last year on New Year's Day in Las Vegas, Nevada, you had a Tesla Cybertruck explode right in front of the Trump Tower, creating a very symbolic picture and image of a, dystopian future. So you never know what type of false F to the LAG might pop off in a couple days in this, pretend New Year's, okay, in Times Square, New York City. We don't know. But as the scriptures say in Ephesians, the 5th chapter, to be circumspect because the days are evil. All right, so let's close off on some of these war scriptures. This is going to go back where we started. Matthew, the 24th chapter, verse 6 through 8. Yahweh Shai speaking. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. And we seeing, man, every other week, earthquakes. These farmers out here in Babylon, the Great America, catching hell. That's, diseases, famines, pestilences, and the love of many waxing cold. Where's that? Right here in Matthew 24, verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And these are all the signs of Esau's end. And we hearing a whole lot of wars and rumors of wars. Let's go to the book of Joel, the 3rd chapter, verse 1 and 2. We'll jump down to verse 9. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. Okay, and that's talking about the northern and southern kingdom of the Israelites. Southern kingdom representing Judah, Benjamin, Levi. Judah is so-called Negroes, so-called blacks. Benjamin, so-called West Indians, Jamaicans. Levi, so-called Haitians. And then the northern kingdom, so-called Hispanics and Native Americans, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans. Okay, Judah and Jerusalem, or Judah and Israel. We are still yet this day in our captivity under the hands of Esau, Edom, as well with the rest of these heathen nations. Speaks on that Psalms, the 83rd chapter. All right, but they going to pay. And the beginning of that payment is this third woe, World War III. And then they going to really pay in the kingdom to come. Verse 2, I will also gather all nations and will bring them into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. And you got these heathens chilling in our land right now. Verse 9 through 13. Proclaim ye among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I am strong. And these weaker nations that wouldn't dare come up against Babylon, the Great America, they now have a guard, which is Russia. Okay, Russia's a guard unto them. You got smaller nations like Iran, Turkey, North Korea. These now smaller nations are teaming up with Russia, China, and as well, you're going to have even these European nations turn on America. Speaks on it in the book of Obadiah, that all the men of thy confederacy, let's get that. Obadiah, the 1st chapter, Start at verse 6. Obadiah verse 1 and 6 and 7. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace, there's that word peace again, with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. And that's what's happening. The Esau is not as wise as he used to be. And Babylon, the great America, is being cornered on all sides. Just like ancient Rome, their military is going to be stretched too damn thin to successfully fight these wars in World War III and even defend their home front. That's why we're going to see civil war and martial law troops as well. Continuing in the book of Joel, verse 3. We'll start at verse 11. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. In the valley of Jehoshaphat, meaning Yehoshaphat, the Lord's judgment, which represents the so-called Middle East. There is no Middle East in the Bible. So the beloved elder Malcolm points that out all the time. Of the GMS Chicago camp, okay, is Western Asia. That's where this third woe is going to mainly take place, okay, where all these nations are going to basically destroy and obliterate themselves, as well as you're going to have the return of our Lord, Yahushua, and the holy angels come through in the chariots, which the world ignorantly calls UFOs, is going to look like Independence Day out here, okay? But Esau not going to win in this movie. His ass is going down, and we going to close off on the destruction of America spoken on in the scriptures. Book of Jeremiah 50, we'll start at verse 9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country. That's first speaking on Russia. And they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. And those arrows are referring to nuclear missiles, thermal, ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missiles being fired on from all four corners of the earth onto America. Verse 10, and Chaldea shall be a spoiled, and all that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord. Because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O ye destroyers of mine heritage, because ye are grown fat as the heifer, at grass, as bellow as bulls, your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. And verse 11, speaking on, Esau, Edom, done got very rich on the blood, sweat, tears, and captivity of the Israelites. Get a precept to match that. Deuteronomy 28, verse 43 and 44. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. And that's symbolic of Jacob and Esau. Okay, Jacob holding on to Esau's heel in the womb. Esau coming out first represent his kingdom coming first. But going back to 2nd Ezra 6, verse 9, for Esau is the end of the world, Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And Esau done got very rich off the captivity and oppression of the Israelites, as well as the rest of these heathen nations have. Going back to the book of Joel, the 3rd chapter, okay? But now it's time for that to end, and these nations going to have to pay. Thus said the Holy Scriptures. And your mother shall be sore confounded, talking about Great Britain, where this United States of America came out of. Verse 13, because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Every one that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all of her plagues. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord. And hey, man, Lord willing, 2026, we see that go from gradually kicking into World War III to, exponentially kicking in. There's a lot of countries, is a lot of battles, a lot of wars and rumors of wars. And hey, you never know what's in store, but it's looking like 2026, all these nations is really going to get it popping. All right. And hey, Lord willing, we endure to the very end and get to witness this and not be, destroyed. Lord willing, we got a seat on the chariots of waiting, because we going to need Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai in these last evil days. Okay. I hope this was edifying. Shalom.